What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. If you guys remember, over the past couple of days, we've been tracking what appeared to be a very big resistance within the symmetrical triangle. We were tracking a massive symmetrical triangle that was destined to be breaking downwards. As you guys know, when we typically see drops and that form symmetrical triangles, we then usually see them drop off again. Now, if we break bullish and then form one, it's usually, implied that we continue to head up. Now, we've been tracking this for many days now. You guys can see I have the chart pulled up here, or my thumbnails pulled up here, and you can clearly see the drop that we had forming symmetrical triangle. We've been waiting for us to fill in the gap here before we see any sort of run back to the upside here. And you can see it's been continued every day. We've been getting closer and closer to filling in this gap here. We thought it was less than 24 hours. Then we thought it was going to happen today. It didn't. Took a little bit longer, and as you guys can see, we filled in the gap yesterday here, completing it with no more room to move anywhere, no room to move up, no room to move down, and finally we'll see if we got the result we've been looking for. So jumping to Bitcoin, you can see we are starting to get the result we were kind of looking for. We filled in the gap, traded outside of it, starting to drop. Let's look at Ethereum. Well, clearly you got your answer on Ethereum too. Ethereum filled in the gap here. What happened? We're starting to drop, which most likely is going to continue the leverage and the leg to the downside here. The unfortunate part is we ended up filling out and closing this symmetrical triangle on the weekend, which would be today, which is unfortunate because usually we don't see much movement and volatility and volume within the daily charts, and or within the weekend days. So that's the unfortunate part. So we haven't seen the major volume change that we normally do. Let's say it fell on a weekday, but it is possible we can continue to see this movement. It's just correlation and causation. That is why I think that this weekend is why we're not seeing the massive correction that we normally do, but this could be leading to that throughout today into tomorrow when the markets do decide to open in regards to the stock market here, which is what we have to talk about. But trades are in, as we're clearly confirmed, a 4-hour candle below there. So there's a good chance now that we are going to continue this drop to the downside here. So for more information about these and the trades that we plan on making, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's video. So guys, before we dive into the technical analysis, as you remember, I do have a second channel. I like to shout myself out on here to spread the awareness. We're about to hit 1,000 subs. We're at 918 subscribers, on our way to 1,000, trying to get this channel monetized as quickly as I can. As you guys know, I dropped a video a few days ago asking Tesla millionaires how to make $1 million. Super cool. Make sure to go check it out. Link to this second channel down in the description. But I just wanted to show you guys that new video coming out this week as usual here. Make sure to go check this out. A lot of cool videos to definitely watch. Now, moving forward, you can see top 10 cryptos here. If I give a quick refresh, you can see we are starting to break bearish. We are starting to correct downwards as expected. You can see we're only down 0.91. Pretty crazy if you look at the FTX token here, and then you look at like the past year, you can see it pretty much fell off a cliff here. It was trading at one point at $50, and if you had your money in FTX coin from $50, we fell now to $1.50. You would have been beyond screwed, losing all your money in that cryptocurrency, as well as just the exchange as a whole. So it's pretty scary, the markets that we're in, but still the top 10 for the most part have been here. BNB being an exchange is a little scary, but for the most part, most of these cryptos have been hanging out here for a while. But you can see the dip on Bitcoin is starting. The Ethereum dip has already began. The BNB dip is starting. You can see Cardano is dipping, Doge is dipping, Matic is dipping. Everything is starting to slide to the downside here. You can see if I just jump to this 24-hour chart, you can see a lot of things are starting to correct lower here. 6%, 5%, 4%, 4%, so on and so forth. Continuing, Litecoin's down 3%. A lot of these cryptos are just now starting to, feel the correction that we pretty much planned and knew and tracked and discussed over the past couple of days here. Now, you can see on Bitcoin's chart here, there is reason to believe that we are going to short this. We closed a 4-hour below our uptrend here, and that is enough for me to say, okay, let's take the risk and buy in for a short. As you guys know, as I always say, usually what happens is off these major, so we have multiple things happen. I just want to show you guys. So you can see typically in the past here, if we break bullish, so if we have a bullish run that leads us into symmetrical triangles or descending channels or whatever, they typically have a bullish bias, which you saw here. And then we continued forward, as that usually happens here. Unfortunately, the opposite happens when we start to see if we reverse, it's usually a negative that happens here. So if we dump and then form a symmetrical triangle, we usually see the same thing happen. It's usually a bearish bias to the downside. And here you go. We're starting to see that correction happen today as we start to move forward here. So we had the symmetrical triangle clearly play out, and we pretty much filled it in and came to the end here, and then we had a decision. Are we going to break through the top resistance here, or are we going to break through the bottom support? Now, as you guys know, we've had multiple retests of the bottom support. This is 3, this is 4, and here we are filling in the gap being 5 bottom supports. Now we have the top resistance, major resistance 1, 2, 3. Here we are again, 4, filling in the gap here. As you guys can see, these major swings in volume slowly got constricted, and then we're pretty much filling this in. So we had a decision to make. If we close us above major resistance here, there's a good chance on the 4-hour we'll pop up to the moving average at $17,000, maybe $18,000 here, 17.7. But if we break through our major price floor at bottom support, there's a chance we could dump and slide lower, potentially the lowest point being like $13,000. It's unfortunate, but we did close today below here, which is not a good sign. Jumping to the daily, you can see we are starting to, slowly slide down too. You can see the constriction that we've had over the past couple of days. Beautiful symmetrical triangle filling in the gap here. We had 1, 2, 3 days of just sideways trading, tons of uncertainty. Here we are starting to trend below this major support. And because we closed a 4-hour here, which is a very aggressive trade, but because we did close it, it is enough for me to say, okay, I'm risking it and I'll buy in and see where we go. Obviously, I do all these trades on Bityard, the #1 cryptocurrency exchange that I like to use here on the channel, because they offer things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, which not many exchanges offer, as you guys hopefully should know. Many exchanges do not offer XRP. Bityard offers XRP, which is why I like it. Not only that, they have a live account and a demo account. And as I said yesterday, if you wanted to sit this trade out, which is totally fine, but you wanted to test your skills, you could have put in a short position today. Right as I'm making this video, this is a perfect opportunity. You don't need to really trade this. I didn't trade this. This was just the confirmation that we were looking for here. Now I will put in a trade, and I'm going to, I would go to demo here. I would type in, we're going to a short. We type in the amount of leverage that we want. We could do a much lower, 10, 20, 30, whatever we're doing. XRP is lower, I think up to 25x here. Let me just double check. No, also 50x, okay, but we could type in 10x leverage here. We type in the amount of margin. We click sell short. It's a demo account, 100K Monopoly money. We test our skills to see if it was even worth making that trade. If we get a few profitable trades consistently, maybe 8, 9, 10, then we could switch to using real crypto. That's how I started. That's how I practiced here. But moving forward, if you do decide to sign up with the link down in the description below and then click mystery box, you can earn some free crypto. So make sure to check out Bityard down in the description below. Now, moving forward here, going back to Bitcoin here, you can see we have now just started to confirm a 4-hour candle that finally closes below here. Notice here on the 4-hour, we have not been able to do that ever in the start of this symmetrical triangle. We finally closed below here, which is enough for me to say, okay, I'll take the risk and assume we're going to continue to slide to the downside. The only reason I think we're probably not going to, break to the upside is because we've confirmed this right now. So I think we're going to see a slow and steady run. I think slowly but surely. The reason I believe not as aggressive as I would like is because we're closing on the weekend. The weekend, the break is coming on the weekend. And typically, we don't see much movement on the weekend because the stock market is closed, and they are kind of trading like this pretty recently. Now, as for Ethereum, you can see we are also starting to break down. We called this too. We've been saying we've pretty much been 80% bearish. 70 to 80%. You can see here, filled in the gap. Same thing applied here. Typically, when we drop bearish, it usually has a bearish bias. You can see here, a bullish run, if we have a bullish run into a symmetrical triangle, it usually has a bullish outlook here. Now, you can see if we have a bearish drop into a symmetrical triangle, it usually has a bearish outlook here. Again, probably seeing a $1,000 drop on Ethereum. I do think we'll pull a little bit lower. We are becoming oversold on most of these cryptos now on the 4-hour, but on the daily, we still look okay. And I truly believe the daily could send us down to bottom support here. We are clearly breaking bearish outside the symmetrical triangle. We are sliding down. I do think we will reach $1,000 fairly soon in the next couple of days here, but I do think a short is what I plan on doing here. And we clearly confirmed a bearish correction. We clearly broke bearish here, and here we are starting to slide lower. So I think that's exactly what's coming. As for XRP, I wish I could talk more about this, but again, we haven't really been trading in anything that I would trade on here, which is why I didn't title today's video about XRP. Unfortunately, this is the drop that we're seeing. Unfortunately, we're not really filling this in. We're starting to trade above here, and we've just been acting so independent that it was hard to make a video on XRP. We're not really seeing any technical indicators just yet. Could we draw something like this? Of course, but it's not really necessary. So I have been waiting. We do have a neckline here that we've been trying to break for quite some time now, and I'm just going to leave this here because this is the problem zone that we've been dealing with. This is the problem that we've been trying so very hard to do. We have just not been able to do it here. Clearly a neckline, we've tried to double bottom and hit it, haven't done that. Now we've been filling in the gap here, trading sideways. So my focus, unfortunately, is off XRP for the time being. S&P has been pretty much teeter-tottering inside this little bubble here, but I do believe strongly when you take a step back that we are going to be heading downwards. I do believe that this is going to continue to scale us lower, and I do believe we're going to reject off this and slide lower as well. Not what I wanted to pull up, but I do think that's what's going to happen. This descending fractal, so we know we fell bearish into an ascending fractal, usually has a bearish bias, but also inside a major descending fractal should probably reject off this and correct lower, which is why I have not put money in yet, because I do believe a short is coming for, or a drop is coming for the S&P, and then we'll buy in. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure to smash the like button, try to post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.